achieved.
Sup, fools? Welcome into Studio Day Jeffrey for today's edition of What's Up with the Cowboys. And today, I'll be honest, I didn't have any ideas, so I just asked for a mailbag, and then I got really impatient. And as soon as I had one question, I was like, all right, let's rock this bee. So today we are going to talk about here in Studio Day Jeffrey time, about Amari Cooper. Because the first question that I got back when I said, hey, let's do a Cowboys mailbag was from 21-4-19 season, SZN. I'd imagine that's Zeke and Dak and Amari. He said, Amari Cooper is being disparaged by some of the local Dallas media when clearly he's played hurt most of the season. Why is that? And I think it's a great question because here is my thoughts on that. Oakland traded Amari Cooper, and he was not a disappointment as a player, as a rookie, as a 21-year-old. I believe he was a Pro Bowler. He went over 1,000 yards. Amari Cooper has always been a really, really, really good football player. And when the Cowboys traded for him, I think a lot of us, when he started being productive, or even me when I went back and watched tape of even the games where he wasn't getting the ball a lot in Oakland, it was like, oh, this dude's good. He's a good player. Now, at the time, I thought the Cowboys were giving up a potential top 10 pick because they were 3-4, and I was like, whoo, that's a lot to give up for a guy who gets paid soon. But I knew he could play. I knew he could. And then you get to last year, he saved the season. Without him, they don't win the East. They don't go to the playoffs. They don't do any of that. But with him, they did. So then you come into this year where he's probably going to end with somewhere between 11 and 1,200 yards and 8 to 10 touchdowns, whatever. And that's a good year. It's a good year for a receiver. But I want to go to what you're saying where you say he's played hurt most of the season. So why are we disparaging him when he's been playing hurt? And I think it comes down to the team is not doing him any favors. And I think at this point, he could do himself a favor, too, if he just said, obviously, excuse me, if he would just say, yeah, I can't play every snap of the game because I'm working through a lot of different things, but I'm giving everything I've got. Just that alone, I think, would shut up a lot of people. But we know that over the course of the year, he's had foot, ankle, quad, knee, all these different things. But we've gotten media reports from beat writers that say, no, they were just saying that he wasn't in on fourth down because they didn't think that he gave him the best chance to convert. And if that's the case, then something's wrong because he doesn't have less ability than Tavon Austin or Michael Gallup. And it's like, oh, no, we just thought we could have converted 4th and 8 without him and we didn't need him out there. But we needed Jason Witten out there. So what you're looking at now is you have to ask questions. If he's out on a bunch of plays, because they can say, oh, yeah, well, it's our receiver rotation. BS. BFNS. You do not rotate great receivers. You don't do it. Sure, if he catches 5 straight passes, he may step out for a play or two. But he's not third on your team in snaps over the course of the game if he's your best receiver. That's BS. So you have to ask yourself, okay, what was it in Oakland? Because the things that people whisper about from Oakland that we immediately in DFW rejected, I did too. You don't become a great player if you don't love football. You don't become an incredible route runner if you don't love football. Those things just don't happen. So I think Amari Cooper loves football. But the fair question asked now is how does Amari Cooper respond to adversity? Because in Oakland, when the team got bad, suddenly Amari Cooper is disappearing for games. And in Dallas, when the team isn't doing well, suddenly Amari Cooper is sitting out 20 and 30 plays a game, and he's not standing next to a trainer, and he's not bent over breathing hard. And so the question that you have to ask, and I'm not giving you the answer, just the question that you have to ask is what goes on with Amari Cooper when things get tough? The team could do him a huge favor and just say, yes, he's not playing every snap because he's battling through some things. And we appreciate him battling. And obviously, and Jason Garrett could say he's been a great player in this league for a long time, and he's battling, and we appreciate that. But that's not what they're going with. They're going with, we thought we had a better chance to get a first down with other people on the fields. So that's what they're telling us. If the Cowboys would like the message to be different, and if the Cowboys would like the media to say something different about Amari Cooper and about this team, then they should say something different. Because as long as that's what they offer, then any reasonable person has to go back and say, okay, well, when Oakland was good, Amari was good. When Oakland started struggling, what happened to Amari Cooper? Why was John Gruden ready to move on from him? Why was a guy who a lot of people think is a top 5 or 10 wide receiver in the league, why did they move on from him and then go get Antonio Brown? That's what the Raiders were like, we don't really need Amari Cooper. We'll get Antonio Brown. They picked a crazy person. They got a 1 and they gave up a 5, but still, they were ready for a crazy person instead of Amari. And so I think when a guy's on your team, you tend to dismiss whatever criticism there is. And I think we have to stop doing that with Amari Cooper, and you have to really examine what happened in Oakland. What was it that made them say, hey, we can move on from him? And why don't you consider that when thinking about his future as a Cowboy? Why do you dismiss that? There's something to it. How he's responding to adversity, unless they tell us it's 100% injury related, which they haven't. And that's that. Lock it in, 1053thefan.com. Check that every day, the YouTube page. Send me your favorite wide receiver who doesn't respond to adversity well. Your favorite diva wide receiver would be good, because mine's Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. He probably responds to adversity fine, though. That dude tried to hit Ray Lewis. He wanted to knock Ray Lewis over, and he got pancaked for it. But, yeah, send me that in the comments. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the radio.